A few weeks ago, Harley Davidson announced they were moving the Livewire over to its own brand. And they're going to call that brand Livewire Motorcycles. It's going to basically be Harley Davidson's electric motorcycle division, but they're spinning it off into its own company, separate from Harley Davidson proper. And when I heard this, my gut reaction was, that's not good. That's bad. Shows how little faith they have in the whole electric motorcycle thing. But now, upon further reflection on it for a while, I think it's actually a good thing and a smart move for Harley Davidson. Let me explain why. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moto Mengy. A few weeks ago, Harley Davidson announced they were moving, what is this? One lane road ahead. Can I turn right up here like I want to? I think I can. Let's find out. Is the road open?
Yeah, it's open. Traffic's coming down.
Oh.
So,
okay, gotcha.
so the block time in, you just can go up.
Yeah, all right, gotcha.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
Yep.
You know you
how far up is the paving? How far up is it?
Well, the traffic's coming down. Yeah, hey, but the traffic's coming down now with the yellow choke. Soon the yellow choke go back, and then just follow him.
Okay, all right, okay.
Just...
Welcome to Pennsylvania. I'll bring up the caboose. So anyway, back to the motovlog, back to the topic. So the reason why I changed my tune on this whole Harley Livewire rebranding thing is because I think it'll offer them a lot more creative freedom with regards to their electric motorcycles. Like for example, when the Livewire came out, it's a sport bike. It's not a typical Harley bike. It's not a cruiser, it's not a touring bike, it's nothing like that. It doesn't look like a Sportster, it doesn't look like a fat boy. It looks very different, it rides very different. It's a sport bike, a naked sport bike. And Harley got a lot of flack for that because Harley riders don't want that. And yet, the Livewire is a really good motorcycle. I test rode it now, a few weeks ago. I have a video online about my Livewire test ride. I put it in the card up here. But my takeaway from that test ride was that the Livewire is a really awesome motorcycle. And I like electric bikes a lot, even though it's not a typical Harley. Now what's going on? But I'm not a sport bike kind of guy, so it was not my style of bike. But after riding that Livewire, I would absolutely love a touring bike or a sport touring bike with that drivetrain, with the batteries, with the electric motors. Put that in a touring bike with a range like 250 to 300 miles per charge. I might even trade this Goldwing in for that if someone made that. But after riding the Livewire, it doesn't feel like a Harley. Very solidly put together. It feels very planted on the road. Oh, this sucks. Why are we going so slow? I've chosen roads poorly today. So when it comes to a Livewire touring bike or a sport touring bike, by removing themselves from Harley Davidson and by making the Livewire its own brand, they can now create their own brand image too. It won't any longer be tied to Harley Davidson, because I mean, the pictures they put out, the promotional pictures, they took Harley Davidson name off the Livewire entirely. Nowhere in the Livewire does it say Harley anymore. It's gone. It's just a Livewire. See, this is where the DCT comes in handy. The dual clutch transmission. I don't got a shift or feather clutches or nothing. And even with the Livewire, it being electric, there's no shifting either, which would be great in an electric touring bike. So by distancing themselves from the Harley image and the Harley brand, they're no longer tied to the typical Harley cruiser bike, like the Street Glide, the Road Glide look, soft tails. This street sweeper is making a mess. My oh my. So now Livewire is free to make all of their new electric bikes look however they want to. Yeah, thank you. Freedom! Woohoo! So for example, the Livewire brand can now make an electric sport touring bike that looks nothing like a typical Harley Davidson. They can make it look like this Goldwing for all they care. A sleek, lightweight sport touring bike that looks nothing like a street glide or a road glide. I'm getting off this road. I've had it. So by untying themselves to the Harley image, they can make their bikes look however they want to. They can make them more aerodynamic, they can make them sleeker, make them lightweight. Maybe they'll make them out of plastic cladding or aluminum cladding instead of steel like Harleys are. They can give the bike an electric windshield like this Goldwing has. Part of me has to wonder if that's why they're spinning off the electric bikes into their own company, into the Livewire, under the Livewire brand. So they have a lot more creative freedom to make them look how they want to look instead of how they have to look to suit the Harley riders and the Harley customers. To give the Livewire its own image and its own brand. Because a lot of younger riders don't really associate themselves with Harley Davidson or the style of bikes Harley makes or the Harley image per se. A lot of younger riders want to be on bikes that are more green, more efficient. So even by taking the Harley name off the Livewire and selling the Livewire separately, that might draw in a lot more customers to the Livewire brand as well. Customers that typically wouldn't buy a Harley Davidson. It also frees them from the whole Made in America mantra too. I got nothing against Made in America, but let's face it, the Livewire that is currently on the market is very expensive for what it is. That $30,000 price tag is really turning a lot of potential customers away from it. Even myself, after riding the Livewire, I loved it. And it's an awesome motorcycle, it's so much fun. And if it costs 20 grand instead of 30 grand, it might be a little more feasible to buy as a toy. I mean, it's still be expensive, but a 20 grand toy is a lot more affordable than a 30 grand toy. So maybe by spinning the Livewire brand off, they might build them in Mexico or China or somewhere else overseas with lower labor rates. And while I'm not really in favor of that from an American consumer point of view, it would greatly help to lower the cost of the Livewire motorcycles. So again, by distancing themselves from the Harley image, the Harley brand, they open themselves up to those kind of possibilities if they choose to, without getting too much flack about it. Now, where did I end up? I'm not really sure where I am right now. Goats! There's a stop sign in the middle of nowhere. Let's turn right, see where this ends up. Of course, it also separates the Livewire bikes from the Harley Davidson proper company, so if Livewire's tank and don't sell well and go bankrupt, it won't hurt the Harley parent company as bad as it would otherwise. So that could be a factor in their decision too. Along with the announcement of the brand spin-off for the Livewire, they also announced that they're going to be showing a new Livewire motorcycle on July 8th, 2021. So I'll be curious to see what that new Livewire motorcycle is going to be. Yeah, it might just be a variant of the current Livewire. Maybe a different version of the naked sport bike they have out now, but I'm hoping it's something new entirely. Like, I'm really hoping that the new Livewire they're going to show this summer is like, for example, a sport touring bike, like what I want, or even just a proper touring bike, or maybe something more Sportster-like, you know, a fast, sporty bike, but more classic looking, possibly. Whoa. Man, today is full of road hazards. Holy Hannah. And along with the new Livewire being shown July 8th, having a Livewire brand separate from Harley allows them to move over their electric children's bikes and the electric scooters that Harley makes too. they can now take them out from the Harley umbrella and put them into their own fully electric brand company. Which brings me to one of the other announcements they made, where they announced the whole Livewire brand spinoff. Harley also announced that they're not going to be selling Livewires at typical Harley Davidson dealers anymore. Instead, the whole Livewire brand will have a showroom setup rather than a dealer setup, where there'll be Livewire showrooms you can go to look at the bikes and see them in person and take them out for test rides. But when you order a Livewire, you're going to order it online through the website. And I guess you can order it at the showroom too, but you won't. They're not going to stock Livewire bikes there for sale. They'll only have the demo versions and the display models. So when you go to buy one, you'll order it and then you'll wait till they make it, they manufacture it, then it'll get delivered to the nearest showroom to you. Very much like how Tesla does it. Tesla, the electric car company, they don't have dealers at all. They have showrooms where you go and you can see the cars in person and then drive them and then order it, but you order online and then it gets delivered at a later date. So that's how the Livewire brand is going to do it as well. They're going to follow the Tesla model. Now that's great for a number of reasons. One, it lowers overhead a lot for the Livewire brand. So without having to stock inventory or pay lots of salesmen or sales forces and stuff, they'll be able to lower the overhead at the Livewire company and sell Livewire bikes for a lower cost. So maybe we'll see the current Livewire come down to like $26,000 or so instead. That'd be great, because they desperately need to lower the prices on these electric motorcycles from Harley Davidson, well, from Livewire now, whatever. I think another reason why they're going to a showroom model rather than a dealership model, and why they won't sell the Livewires in Harley dealerships, is because when Harley introduced the Livewire, not many Harley dealers options to carry the Livewire. Now, a large reason for that is probably because Harley required dealers to pay something like $100,000 in order to even sell Livewires. That $100,000 was for the service equipment in the service bays and for the charger they needed to install at the dealerships. But a lot of Harley dealers said no thank you. They didn't bother because they didn't have enough faith in the Livewire. They didn't want to spend that $100,000 in order to have the privilege to sell the Livewires. I can't really say I blame them all that much, because $100,000 for a dealership is a lot of money just to pay for something that's a gamble that might not pay out, because no one really knew much about the Livewire back then. They didn't have much confidence in it. It's gonna be a low production motorcycle. Only really the largest dealerships paid that $100,000 to carry them. So the Livewire never really did get a lot of exposure as far as the dealer network goes. So rather than repeat that mistake, Harley decided to change it up a little bit. And I think that's probably a good thing, because putting Livewire bikes, electric bikes, on Harley showrooms next to Harley Davidson's, typical standard Harley Davidson's, it's not really very congruous. You're sending two different messages there. You got the big inefficient air-cooled gas engines that are in most Harleys, right smack next to the electric efficient Livewire bikes. You got very green and not very green in the same showroom floor. And it's tough to attract customers to your place of business when you don't have a common message. What the hell? Why is every road closed today up here? I'm riding north of Kutztown today, in the middle of nowhere. But I had no idea so much of the roads up here were under construction or in bad shape or just crappy. Stump Road Detour. Guess we're going this way. So I really do think that Harley spinning off the Livewire into its own brand is a good thing. I think it bodes well for the Livewire motorcycles. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how they handle it and what they do with it, because I really do think it's a pretty good strategic move on Harley's part to allow the Livewire to find its own footing, to create its own brand image, to create its own array of motorcycles for its own customer base. and to separate the electric motorcycles separate from Harley Davidson motorcycles. Let's face it, they are nothing alike. So while originally I was very much against the whole Harley Livewire spin-off thing, I'm now very much in favor of it. I think it's a great move. I'm all for it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it and how it plays out. And hopefully, this new Livewire bike on July 8th is a sport touring electric motorcycle, because that's what I want to see. Let's bring the future to now, Harley Davidson, or Livewire, whatever you're called now. What do you think of the whole Livewire brand being spun off from Harley Davidson? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know down below in the comment section. Or if you have any questions, put them down there too. Me, I'm gonna turn the cameras off and enjoy this warm but overcast day. Got a little crappy out, but it's not raining, so that's good, I guess. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, ride safe. See you next time.